Okay, let me share the screen. My screen is visible as usual question. And Azhar is always eager. Yes, is the first person to say. All right. I get it. Hope you all have this Excel, whatever the Excel which I have. You are seeing the same Excel and there are various information. Okay. So now let me start with discussing on the new functions that have come in Excel. In case if you want to work parallelly with me, please work. This session is being recorded. You will have the copy of the recording with you. Okay. Now, if you are using older version of Microsoft Excel, all the thing which I'm showing will not be working in your system. It is like good to know. If you are using a pirated Excel, it might not work. If you are using Microsoft Office 2016 and above, it will work because I am also using that version. Office 365, it will work. So if you are using the latest versions of the Excel, whatever we are discussing will work. Now, the first and foremost thing is I have some 5 names here. I have 5 names here. I want to actually split the names. In a normal course, there are only 2 ways of doing it. People will do, okay, select this, Control C, Control V and do it. Or they will try to take this and text to 2 columns. So Alt DE, they will try to put it. But is there any pattern in my data? Answer is no. Because I have a dot, I have a space, I have a comma. So it's difficult to use the multiple delimiters also. The new function, new Microsoft Excel function that has come is text split. So you are splitting the text, you are splitting the text and you are splitting the text. So the function is, let me zoom this. Just in case if it's not visible, yeah. Okay. Is equal to text split. So this is the text. This is the text. You want to split it. You want to split. And the delimiter, let's say space. How do I give? In my double quotes, I give a space and close. Now you can automatically see the data got split. Can you see automatically the data got split? But here you can see here this Gella comma partner is together. Gella comma partner is together. So you want to use multiple splits possible. So let me use the formula also. So you can see the formula. Whatever the formula I'm writing will be visible to you here. So now I will be adding one more parameter. Instead of merely saying I can use double quotes and open parenthesis and use one thing, there is a dot, then there is a comma. I can use all that within the thing. And do you want to have anything row delimiter, like you want to put it to row? That's also possible. I'll show in a while. And ignore empty, other things I'll come in a while. So now you can see CA you find a dot, you find a space, you can now see something else has come. This is where the ignore empty comes in. If you want to ignore an empty cells, you set it as true, that ignore empty, set it as true, then you will not find the gap in between, and wherever the gap is there, the empty cells are ignored. This is one very good function which can easily split the text into the with a different parameters. Now you can see here clearly that I have used one parameter as a space, another parameter as a dot, another parameter as comma. Any doubts to anyone? Can we move to the next function? Next variant of text split. Yes, no, maybe. Am I muted? Is this clear? Can we move to the next function? Yeah. So I would request you to keep putting yes, 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 yes every time when I ask. So that gives me a motivation that, okay, other side and we both are on the same page. All right. It's not that data has to go this way. Data can come in this way also. Is equal to text split. I always copy the formula so that you can understand what I am doing. Is equal to text split. Now this is the text. The column delimiter, I'm not giving anything. I want a row delimiter. So I'm putting a comma and my row delimiter is my comma. Now look at this. Look what has happened. The data has come in April, May, June, July in this fashion. So the data has come in this fashion, April, May, June, July. Yeah, you get it? So this was the first one was column delimiter. This was my row delimiter. Now let me merge the column and row delimiter. Let me merge the showing the column and the row delimiter. So what is there? I have my so I want to split in the columns. I want to split this data in the columns. There's a is equal to, and every time when you find a comma, you go to the next line. Pretty impressive, right? So this is the data, and this data got translated into this format. Is that clear? Can I move to the next function? Only two, yes. Other people trying, seeing, got it. All right. Now, here I want to split, sort, and stitch it back. So basically, there are multiple names. I want the names in a single order. I want the names in a single order. I want the names to be in a very single order. Now, how do I do it? How do I do it? There's a function called text join. By the way, pretty important function. Let me show the text join. let's say I'll copy this information, April, May, June. I've copied it. So I copied the April, May, June here. So there is something called how you have text split, text join. So you want to join with what is the delimiter? How do you want to join? I want to join by way of comma. I want to join by way of comma. And if there are empty, you can ignore the empty cells. And where is your text? Here is my text. So I can also join the text. I can split the text, right? So here the requirement is I want to split the text, sort it in one order and join it back. Let's do them one by one. How do I split? It's pretty simple. Is equal to text split this using comma. All right. And there's a sort function is equal to sort you can sort the data. This is the sort the data. You have the data which needs to be sorted. I don't know, suddenly my system became extremely slow. Let me close some applications. So your sort index, you can actually give multiple order ascending, descending. You can set it, and you want to sort it by columns or by rows. You can set that, and now you can see the data got sorted in one order. After that, what is the objective? I want to stitch it back, which is text join. Text join with comma. And if there is empty, ignore the empty cells. And where is my text? Basically, I can put D23 and hash. So it will automatically take whatever the data that is there after that. So you can see this is the original data. Basically, this was the original. Let me cut this and put it. So this was the original data. We had split the data, sorted the data. So we first did the split, then sort, then we did a join. We joined the data back. By the way, if you, for some of you it looks very basic, for some of you it is very advanced. We have a video recording. You will be shared with the YouTube video. You can always work back. If I have to put everything in one go, like this is your split command. Sorry, this is your split command, right? So you can, this was my split command. Now I have to sort the data. I have to sort the data. So in the sorting, I can actually apply the sort here, and my split command, instead of the array, I have put the, so it got split, and I want to join, right? So the text join. So I will put my text join command. So the array which I want to join, is this portion. So all that I'll do is I'll just put a bracket to this data. Yeah. So in one go, you have achieved this objective of splitting it, sorting it, and joining back. For some of you, again, hi-fi, some of you, wherever, is this clear? Have you understood this? Can we move to the next one? All right. So here comes the next one, text to columns. So I have some team members here. I have some team members list here, and I want all the data into my columns. I want everything in single column. So there's a function called two columns, TOCOL, and you can give the array. And sometimes you might have values missing, you might have data blanks, everything. You want to keep blanks, you want to ignore blanks, you can set everything. Right now I want to keep all the values, and you want it to be sorted in the order of row or in the order of the column. So default is the order of the row, it gets sorted, and I am closing. Boom, you are here. So it has default is row. Default is row, which means it has taken Harini, Kirti, Anil in one, then started with Kirtana, Kritika, Jagdish, Anjali. So the entire matrix has come into the one go. You can set the default as a row instead of column, instead of row, you can set it to column. Now you will see first the four you have got Harini, Kirtana, Shailaja, Manju, then you got Kirti, Kritika, Ganesh. So everything has been brought into one place. Many times when we are working, we might get the data in multiple goes. We might have to do this data, bringing everything to one place. So the function which we have used, so it is two column, whatever is the array, and whether you want to sort it, get it by columns or rows, whatever the manner you got it. Is this clear? Can we move to the next function? Anyone not understanding, by the way, just keep asking me, don't worry. Okay. And if you think that I am slow, please mention it so I can be speed also. All right, now let's go to rows. It's pretty simple, straight. Whatever we did, two columns, instead of having it in a columnar vertical, I will become horizontal. So it is two row. You will give the array, whatever is the array you want, and you want to keep all the values. You can keep all the values, and by default sort it by row, set it even if you don't give. So this is the formula. Yeah, two row. Now, given that we have seen so much formulas, I'll have to show you there's a file like this where we had worked in a bank audit very recently, where the data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. I think each row has some 30 columns, and this is one record. Second record is here. We wanted to get it into a single record. So how did we do it? So here is the data. You can copy this data. All right. So I was trying for your sake. So here is the data which I've copied. Now you can see the data is into multiple places, multiple location, all the way. And I wanted to have the data into one single thing. So easiest way to do it, first you have 6 records. You join all the 6 records. Text join. You do a text join. You do this. So data is join. You are joining with the text. And once the data is joined, so all the data you can see data is joined. It is into a single line. This now you can apply the text split. So I'll put the formula for the ease of people. So I'll put the formula. So now I'm splitting the data. So text split, this is the text and your delimiter, your column delimiter. Sometimes I have a pipe. Sometimes I have a pipe, or it is a pipe with space. In both the cases, I want to treat it as one. Nothing is a row delimiter. And do you want to ignore empty cells at this point? Yes. And I am closing the bracket. Here we go. We got all the data. Let's say I don't want to ignore empty. Let me put it as false. Yeah. So you have all the data with you. And there is a question mark also as a delimiter. So you can add one more delimiter, which is question mark. Yeah. So you have all the data that you think which is required, which is here. Now this I just need to copy. So for record 1, I have all the information that is required. For the first record, I have the details with me. So this way, if I just copy this information and I was just showing you for the ease, but there's, so you can see all the details, name, whatever, the product code, all the information is something which automatically in one go, something which is complicated as this has become pretty simple in life, right? So this is the advantage of knowing the formulas. So we have done with text to rows and 2 columns. Now comes text after. Now comes text after. Dheeraj is asking that I have 365 version, but still not working these functions. Dheeraj, you just go whether is your Office 365 updated. Just update the thing. This should work. These are the functions which was there quite some time. So just check with the thing. All right. Now text after. What does the text after and before? Basically, this is eliminating left, mid, right, all those things are getting eliminated. Earlier, we want to have a data. So let me give. So I want to have the data, whatever is the text, which is, this is the text. I want the text which is there after the space. So you can see you got the text which is there after the space. Here there is no space. So whenever you encounter errors, if error, so you do not have space, so you can get the same thing. Now you may say, I want the text after the second instance. You can always say, okay, you want the second instance, you give it as 2. Now you can see you got the data after the second instance. By the way, I should apply this. If there is any error, you pick this. So by this way, you don't need to, earlier the way people used to work is copy the space, search the space, find the position of the space, get the length, apply the length function, mid function, left function, using the position. Like the way people used to work is I used to search the find the text. I want to find the space here. So I want to find the space here, and starting from 1, I used to give, okay, it is in 7th position. So people have to now do guesswork, the second instance, third instance. So that's how they used to do multiple things. Now pretty simple. The text after and text before is the same of the same method of it. So I am saying left side. So text before, I want the text which is before the space. That's it. So by default is first instance. So I want my second instance. I want after 2 spaces, whatever is the name, get me that name. So that's how the text after and the text before works. The text after and text before works. Sometimes you have multiple things. You want to pick dot. Like even here, it's not just necessary space. You can open your curly bracket and you can say, sometimes it might be dot, sometimes it might be comma, whatever it is, consider all and give. Now you can see here. So you can give multiple arguments to pick a text which is before. So I have taken 3 instances, comma, dot, and the space. So anything 3 occurrences of it, it has taken, and items before that it has given. So this is how you work on text before and text after. Any doubts to anyone on text before and text after? This file will be shared with you. Absolutely. You can practice it later, just in case if for some of you this is not working in your system at this point, you want to work later, you will get this file. Shall we proceed? Is it too boring? Are you following? Am I clear? All right. All right. So now let's go to the next function on the textual thing is stacking of the data. Next function is stacking of the data. I have the teams, and so there's accounts department, tax department, GST department, and say RERA department. So there are multiple departments. Everything is in different places. So I want to get it into a proper way. I want to stack it, organize it, align it properly. So basically, employee name, employee or and salary, right? So I want to give this. So the formula that you need to use, second switch. Yeah, thank you. Ad open. We stack. So vertically you are stacking it. Vertically you are stacking it. This is one array. This is your second array. This is your third array, and this is your fourth array. Done. All the data you have which is required is there with you. All the data that you need to get is with you. Employee name and employee salary. And the beauty of it is, this is, by the way, these are all an expandable functions. Today with the Excel, everything, if by mistake, assuming if I have something here, then it says some spill, it is unable to expand. It cannot give anything. It is not free for me to share the information. The moment I do this, it has automatically got the data. So if you are here, technically there is the you can see it is graded. But when I come here, it is in black, which means it is borrowing the source from elsewhere. That's how the new data functions work today. Now, beauty of it is, if this is a table, right? Let's say if this is my accounts, if this is my accounts, let me make it as table. Control T is a table. I will say this as so I will call this as accounts data. Now here, instead of selecting this, I will select accounts data. Now look at what happens. The advantage, please pay attention here. After Manju, the Kirti is there. I have not hard coded. So now if I write after this, let me write Umesh and 33,000. You can see data has come automatically. Data has come Ravi 25,000. But when I do the same thing here, after between Venu, Ganesh, Venu, Nalini should come, but Ganesh, Venu, Anil has come. This is missing when this was not into a text table format. So when you use it in a table, this is automatically expanding. The scope gets expanded. Start using, whenever you are using Excel, data in tabular format and name manager. This way you are making the data also dynamic. You are making it as dynamic. So with the increase in the data, your data gets added. This is your vertical stack. Any doubts to anyone? All right. Now let's move to horizontal stacking. Quite opposite of this. So I just need to say H stack is this data. This data, tax data, GST data and RERA data. So it has automatically stacked the details in one place. Generally, you need to be aware of this. Where it will be useful, you'll automatically get to know when I start doing, when we wrap the rows and the last function of dropping something, you'll get to know this. So this is on VStack and HStacks. Now let's wrap the rows. So let's say this is the Venu Anil and I have salaries or turnover of both the people in multiple periods. In multiple periods, I have the data. Now, I'm not sure how many of you noticed in the earlier functions, there is something called padding. Every time I ignored, let me explain it. So a new function, wrap columns and wrap rows. Right now I'm wrapping the data into rows. So here is my wrap rows. So here is my data. I can either do this way or I can put it as C2 hash. So that it will take the data, whatever it is next to it. And wrap count, I'm saying 2, every 2 columns I want it. Wherever the data is paired with, so you want to pad, you want to, okay, sorry. Wherever you want to pad with, you can do the missing values. Yeah, so you can missing one. So you can automatically see this data has now come in, which was there in this. After every 2 columns, it had jumped, it has started wrapping it into a separate place. So you have whole of this data, you have wrapped it more like a pivot tables. Most of the times pivot tables will not be helpful when you're working, want a count of the numbers, sum of the numbers. That is the data that would be helpful when you are wrapping the rows. Likewise, you can wrap it into columns also. You can wrap the data into columns. Like, let's say this is the same data. Okay, let's wrap columns. So this is the same data. Let's say this is April, May, June. Okay, so I will wrap this data instead of rows. Here is my vector and put it into columns. Even if you don't give also, nothing will happen. So you can say now you can see this is April, May, June. So if your data is in this fashion, automatically you are wrapping the data in any fashion. So you, after every line, after every 3 lines you want to bring down, or every 3 lines you want to bring it into separate column. Choice is yours. You can do it. Like if I say artificially, let me introduce one more thing. I'll say Vinay, and I will start with B, and so look at this, how this data has come. Automatically you can see this is for 1 month, this is 2nd month. So data has automatically became into 3 columns. So you can wrap the data however you want. And basically this is what, now you can see a huge list. you will not be able to see it. So you can wrap and put it. That's what they have done it. They have wrapped it and given. You want, you can stitch it back. You can do whatever the functions you would want to do it. So this is how we have wrapped rows and wrapped the columns. In a normal course, what is the way out? All that I can do is I will do Control C, come here, Control V. No, then you will say, no, I don't want this way, I want in vertical way. Then you will say, okay, it is not Control V, it is space special. You will say transpose, and you will keep doing, coming everything every now and then the data. So you have to do this way. If it is one time, okay, but every time large set of data and chance of errors always happens. But now it is like system is doing it. System is doing it for you automatically. Yeah. Is this clear to you guys? Nidhi, you are asking to Zoom. Let me put the formula. This is the formula. Anyhow, will be sharing you the file. So Nidhi, is this visible, clear? Anyone, any doubts? All right. Now let's go to the, we are almost coming to the end. I know patient levels come down as we move to the end. Okay. So I have this set of data. Now there's something called, when you have a table, you have an option to take few. You can take only few information. So someone says, okay, I want first 5 records, I want second 5 records, right? So something like that. So let's say, okay, let's say first 5 records. How do I take it? The way you will do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, copy, apply filter, something like that, right? Simple. You have a function called take. You have a function called take. So rows, columns, you can drop anything. So this is the array. This is the array. And how many rows you want? I want, say, first 5 rows. Yeah. So done. You have your first 5 rows details with you. And by the way, these are dynamic. I can put it as 5 here. And instead of 5, I am saying link this number. So I say 8 rows. So you can see the information automatically coming up, right? You may also say, sir, there, instead of random, can we take some filtered data? You know, given that this filter is that commonly used filter is top 10 records. Yeah, that's how we apply the filters and take it, right? And in one of the earlier function, we have looked at something called sort. That's what we have learned. Let's apply that sort here. So instead of taking B2, let me just give the formula here. This is the formula which is there. So now what I am doing, I am applying a sort function to this. So I am saying you sort this data. Sort B4 to H5, and the sort index, you want to sort ascending, descending, you can set it. Let's say I want the salary in a decreasing order, I'll put it as descending, and you want to sort it by 3rd column, right? So I said the sort by 3rd column. Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Ye- Yeah. Yeah. So the comma is always very important. So there was just one comma that came up, then the whole thing messed up. So what I have done is I have sorted, and let's say we wanted to take top 10 records, 8 records, whatever. So 8 people whose salary in the order of salary we have given. Anil is showing 48,800. I don't know where. Yeah, Anil is here. Instead of 4,800, Vinay is 48,000. I'm making this as 46,000. Look at this. Automatically, the order got changed. 26,000. Maybe this will be out and something else will come in. So this is how the advantage of you in a normal course. What you will have to do, you will be applying a filter, and you will be going here. You will sort largest to smallest, number filter, top 10 are above 40,000, all those things that you have set it here. You can set, you can apply a filter. By the way, I'll explain you in the next function with the filter thing also. So now you can couple multiple spill functions in one function itself. Yeah. So we are now taking few records from a data set. Now this, if this is a table, if this is your, like you can set this, sorry, you can set this as employee DB. And I am just saying, instead of this thing, I'll say employee database. So sort employee database from the third column in the descending and give me the number of records. Here I can say record count, and how many records you want, you will come by. So the moment you give it in a natural English, you are getting it. So record count, if you want 15 records, you get 15 records. You want 2 records, top 2 records, you got it. Yeah. So this is how the interpretation manipulation with the data works. Clear? Any doubts to anyone? We are almost, I think, coming to end. I think we have, oh no, yeah, we have 4 more functions. Can I proceed to the next one? Yes, no, maybe. Any doubts to anyone? All right. Now comes drop few. Yeah. So how you have a take function where you can take some data. There is something called drop. There's something called drop. What does drop means? Let me just zoom this. So same thing, opposite of take. So drop. So you can drop 3 rows, and it has dropped the 3 rows. Harini, Kirtana, Shailaja has been dropped, and from Manju you got it. Assuming you want to drop the bottom 3 rows, like Anjali, Vinay, Venu needs to be dropped, you can say -3. You will see Harini, Kirtana, everything here, and this Anjali, Vinay, Venu got dropped here, right? So this is how your drop and take function works. You can drop some data, you can take some data, which will help you in picking. And this, you can always put it in a function. By the way, Excel is an enabler in your audits and your financial function. Do not think that you have Excel function, which means you are master in your audit or the things. While applying the doing the audits, you will get that how do I take this? What do I do this? That's where these formulas come into handy. The next thing is choose columns. Like you have so much of the data, you have so much of the data, you want to choose few information, so that's where you can use the function called choose columns and rows. So I can say again, let's do so choose columns. This is my data set, and I can choose what column you want. Let's say I want employee name and the salary. Employee name is your second column, salary is your third column. Done. So employee name and salary has come out of the so much data. Or I just want the, though it doesn't make sense, and accounts department. Can you see the order also got changed? And I can actually drop. Now Harini belongs to accounts, Kritika belongs to tax. So now you can, you are now, it is now you are getting a different interpretation of the data, right? Otherwise, earlier, if you have to do this, you have to Alt W, insert a new sheet, Control C, Control V, VLOOKUP, and all those things. Now VLOOKUP is pretty simple. It is automatically you can apply a VLOOKUP to this data. Of course, now XLOOKUP has come to help us in putting it in this way. So you, without touching the original data, you have now prepared your reports however you want. Likewise, choose rows. So you can say choose rows. This is the rows you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you have your rows with you. You have your 5 rows with you, right? And this is where I have said that every time when I actually teach, I also try to teach some new coupled formulas also. So you can apply a filter. You know, there's something called filter. You can apply a filter, and where the salary is more than that, you can apply that and take it. Yeah. Now, if you want to choose your salary more than 20,000, you want to choose your salary which is more than 20,000, and you want to, let's say, 3 rows that you want to pick 1, 2, 3 where the salary is more than 20,000. So in your choose rows, which we already have, I can apply one more thing called, so right now it is formula. So this is the formula which we have, choose rows. So now I will say choose rows. Instead of giving the array, let me create a filtered array. The formula you have, there's something called filter, and this is the array. And what do you want to filter is include if this value is greater than 20,000, value greater than 20,000. And if empty, you can ignore. Right now we don't have any empty, so your array is done. So you want first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column. Now you see, look at the results. Okay, I haven't sorted. Oh, it's 2000. Let's make it as 20,000. Yeah. So now you can see there's a different result automatically coming. So this we have you chosen the same data. Data was to choose the same thing, but now you have applied a filter. The first 5 rows wherever 20,000 has exceeded. By the way, I haven't sorted, so it started looking here 20,000 exceeded, here exceeded, here exceeded, here exceeded. So it has picked Harini, Kirti, Kritika, so Manju. These people have been picked. Yeah. So clear everyone, choose column and choose rows. Let's go to the last one, which is expand. The last one, which is expand. So whenever we want to use vertical stack or horizontal stack, the data needs to be in a unique way. The data has to be unique way. So if the data is not in a unique way and you want to add the data, so you will have the spillover functions will not work. So whenever the data is not in unique, you can actually add the additional rows by using the function called expand. Let's say here I have two sets of data. I have this data and I have the another. So I have, these are new employees that have come. Now I want to add to this list. I want to add the employees to this list. So let's say name, salary, and department. Okay. So you can always choose. So the way I wanted here is I want the name first, salary next, and department. Okay. So this is the new data. This is the existing data. So now can I stack? Let's see. Stack. Can I stack it? I'll say vertically stack this data and this data. So now you can see automatically this something is missing because data is not there. So but you can actually expand it. So you can expand this. You don't need to expand the rows, but you want to make it into 3 columns. And the missing data, if anything is missing, you will say department missing. You padded it. So now you have 3 details. Now you can vertically stack both. This is one array and this is the second array. Now you will not get any error. So this way you expanded the database and you are doing a horizontal or vertical stacking of the details. So with this, it has no, in my Excel, this is the last. There are no more details. I think even in your Excel, this is the last. There are no more details. We can now conclude the session. I am not sure. It's like other side how it is, whether it was exciting and new thing, or this is something I know, or you're frustrating, it's not working in my system, or you may say I was too speed, or for some you, oh, this is the information I know. Whatever be the state, I think we have mix of the people, but the objective is to you have to learn something, some function all the times. You got to really master your skills in data manipulation. That's the objective of our sessions. I don't believe in terms of learning everything overnight. It has to come by its own time, and it has to come by practice. So between now to the next session, you can master yourself in all these functions, and in the next session again we will come up with some new formulae and new things, right? With this, we have come to end of the session. Value to text function in any of the session? Yes, Kalyan will take it up. Okay. Any other questions for anyone? Don't worry, this file I will be sharing with you all. So in fact, let me do it now. Otherwise, you might also forget. And by the way, you will definitely get email again with this file. So for participants practice, I have shared the file in the group. You can download and you can use it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hope this is informative. And with this, we have come to end of